Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Spotlight. Dave Weishuttle with you. It's always great when our next guest comes on because when I think of poker, I think of the poker room that she is responsible for. And of course, that is the Borgata in Atlantic City. The last time I talked to her, we were talking about the Borgata Winter Poker Open, and that tournament was an incredible success. And now starting on April 29th is the Borgata Spring Poker Open. We're going to hear all about this great tournament because on the line we have Borgata's Director of Poker Operations, Kellie DeCelis. Kellie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me again. It's great to be back.
I have to tell you, I always like having you on because anytime I do an interview, I do research to prepare for questions for me to ask people, and I go onto Borgata.com, and I always end up playing on BorgataPoker.com. So you're one of the most fun I have preparing for an interview, so I want to thank you for that. But, the last time you were on, as I said, we were talking about the Borgata Winter Poker Open, and that was an enormous success. Give us a kind of recap or an overview of what happened at the Borgata Winter Poker Open, because the crowd there was just huge.
It was so amazing to see everyone again and have them come out to Borgata. We did 24 days of tournament events. We had 4 major anchor events, over 10 million in guarantees. We actually hit over 15 million paid out in prize pools, which was an astounding number.
Incredible.
We broke records across the board. We gave away a $500,000 mystery bounty to one lucky player, and that snippet online definitely went viral. It was an amazing pull and a great reaction. Our championship was just phenomenal. We had 9 live stream events. So we live streamed a cash-like event as a tournament here in Jersey for the first time. We were able to do 2-5 no limit and 10-10 PLO. And then, of course, the big game with the $10,000 no max buy-in. We had Cherish Andrews and Darren Elias. And I just think the culmination of all 24 days and the player base that came out, over 19,000 entries in total, was just amazing. And I think everyone here on property and everyone on the East Coast really realized and had that chance to kind of step back and get nostalgic about what historical Borgata Poker Opens look like. And it was really, really great to see. And we are excited to have been able to plan another one in spring. And just so you know, we are currently working on Borgata Poker Open in September as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to give us 3 really great open events every year for our players like clockwork, and excited to be back on the map with those.
Now, I was struck by the amount of space Borgata had where the tournament took place. The Winter Poker Open didn't take place in the poker room, but it was upstairs in this really great space. It was just amazing. Is that where the Borgata Spring Poker Open will take place as well?
Yes, that's called our Central Conference Center.
Oh, okay.
And Borgata has spaces all over the place, but the convenience of the Central Conference Center is obviously that it is steps from our poker room, which makes it just an amazing place to be able to expand to. We were able to fit 48 tables up there for the Borgata Winter Poker Open. And then we also took advantage of the downstairs space for Winter Poker Open. We had a really specific space for our live streams, which was really cool. But in Spring Poker Open, we'll change it up a little bit. We like to, keep things fresh. Okay. And we're going to drop that live stream space directly smack dab in the middle of that ballroom space upstairs. Okay. We'll lose a couple of tables in exchange for it, but I definitely think it'll be a feature, and it'll give players the opportunity while they're playing their tournament hands to continue to look over at that live stream space and just know that's where they want to be.
When we were talking about the Winter Open last time, I was thinking how much poker you pack into that time period when that event was occurring. And now we're talking about the Borgata Spring Poker Open. And again, it's an amazing amount of poker between April 29th and May 14th. Now we're going to get into some specific tournaments in the Spring Poker Open in a little bit. But give us an overall structure of the Spring Poker Open, and what kind of guarantees are we talking about for the Open?
Yeah, so it's not going to be as big as our Winter Poker Open. We had 24 days there in January. In spring, we're just looking at the 16-day schedule, but we still wanted to give our players what they're used to seeing at our open events now, kind of getting them in a habit. So Winter Poker Open had the kickoff, the Almighty, the Mystery Bounty, and the Championship. So what we've done for Spring Poker Open, since we've shortened the days available, is we're still giving players 22 main events. However, we've combined the kickoff and the Almighty, so we have a kickoff Almighty this round. We're still grabbing a Mystery Bounty, and we still have a Championship, but we're lowering those price points down. So I think consistently, Winter Poker Open will always be our largest buy-ins for those players. Moving into spring, we're going to see a $2,700 championship, a $500 Almighty kickoff, and then just an $900 mystery bounty. And so I think over $4 million in guarantees versus $10 million, 16 days versus 24 days. I think our players are going to be really happy with the schedule and how things are laid out. And of course, it's a lot easier to get 14 days off of work than it is to get an entire month.
I love the fact that you're starting right off with the Almighty Million event. Tell us about that event, because it has a $1 million guarantee. I mean, you're not exactly starting off small with the Spring Poker Open. You're not even easing into it. You're just jumping right in.
Of course, absolutely. It's perfecting the dive. That's what we're trying to do here, right?
There you go. I like that.
No splash, or make as big a splash as we can, I suppose. I think Almighty's a fantastic brand here at Borgata. Everyone loves the 100K starting stack. It's extremely popular. And we're just trying to get those buy-ins and those price points really a little bit lower each time, right? So that we make sure that we include everybody. So this time around, it's a $500 total buy-in that includes the add-on, that includes the entry fee, it includes all of it, and a $1 million guarantee. So we are anticipating a huge field there. We have 5 starting flights. We'll do 2 a day for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then 1 that stands all by itself on Thursday. That'll be players' last opportunity to get in there. And then, of course, we'll live stream our final table as well. But I think $1 million guarantee for a $500 buy-in, it's really letting players know that we believe in them. We believe in the ability for them to show up and enjoy these events, and we love to offer them.
Is the Almighty Million events, is that one of your more popular events? Because I just love it when Borgata offers this, because it's one of those events that is an extremely reasonable buy-in, but the prize pool is great. Is that one of your more popular events?
It's actually one of the most popular events, as far as I know. Yeah. I think in May of last year, we offered this as a standalone, and we had over 2,700 players register for that event at an $800 price point. So it was the largest prize pool in Almighty Million history as a standalone event. So that really tells us something about how popular a 100K starting stack is with players. And we've seen other houses kind of try to, also get on board with these really large starting stacks. I think players really enjoy it. They really enjoy the big pots. They enjoy the amount of play that's associated with a 100K starting stack. And it's a price point where even a brand new player can say, oh my gosh, look at this prize pool, look at this starting stack, look at this buy-in, I'm getting into this one.
The events and tournaments you have are so creative, and the one thing I love about them is you have the greatest names of these events in the poker world. You have something in the Spring Poker Open. You have something called Deep, Deeper, Deepest series. I have no idea what that is. What can players... Oh, by the way, I got a whole list of these I'm going to ask you about. There's some of the greatest names in poker out here.
I have a really great, funny backstory on the whole Deep, Deeper, Deepest.
All right.
All right. So Deep, Deeper, Deepest was actually come up with, it was created by Tad DeChato, who was our former TD here. Amazing. He was a fantastic mentor as well. Big shout out to him. So he created this event, this idea, this series, back, I guess maybe 2015 or 2016. Super popular with our players.
Okay.
But we had these T-shirts made and for everyone, right? And so the T-shirt just said Deep, Deeper, Deepest on it. That's all. And then series was really tiny down at the bottom. And our marketing crew, once these T-shirts had arrived, our marketing team at the time took one look at them and they said, you know what? That's not appropriate. And we were instructed to officially shred all of those T-shirts, but the name stuck, and I think it's a wonderful concept because it gives us the ability to run a 3-part series where players, the deep events are a 30K starting stack, deeper is 40, deepest is 50, and now we've also added monster stack, which is a 60K starting stack. We don't see that specifically with this series, but we have added it in some of our standalone Deep, Deeper, Deepest events, and they've been very successful. And so I think players love these because they're progressive buy-ins, progressive starting stacks, progressive guarantees, and most importantly, single day events. And so it gives players the opportunity to pop out of work, head on over, jump into these events and make some great money and still have a lot of chips to play with. And it's just a really cool name to say Deep, Deeper, Deepest. I think it's fantastic. We're keeping it.
Well, another name that intrigued me looking at the schedule was the Mirror Mystery Bounty. I'm trying to figure out what you were referring to. You got my curiosity. Every time I see these names, I got another one too. I don't King of Poker Progressive Bounty Shootout. I love that.
Yeah,
I just love that. but tell us about the Mirror Mystery Bounty.
Sure. The Mirror Mystery Bounty also has a backstory. So obviously we did a $2,200 mystery bounty during Winter Poker Open, and we called it the $500,000 mystery because our top mystery bounty prize was guaranteed at $500,000. Well, when everything closed out and registration closed out, we ended up with almost exactly $2 million in the prize pool, half of which was dedicated to the mystery bounty, so $1 million, and half of which was dedicated to the prize pool. Now, 50% is not first place. And so we ended up with a $220,000 first place as our payout, but a $500,000 top mystery bounty. And so those two items were very skewed. And while the players were extremely excited about the opportunity to pull $500,000, once the $500,000 was pulled, it was kind of like letting the air out of a balloon, right? Everyone was slightly disappointed that the most money they could win now was $220,000. And so Borgata and my team is amazing. They listen to the players, they take feedback, they bring great ideas forward. And so we actually had a player recommend, wouldn't it be a cool thing if the mystery bounties mirrored the prize pool?
Oh, okay.
So if first place is $200,000, top bounty will be $200,000. If min cash is $2,000, Men mystery bounty will be $2,000. So when we say mirror mystery bounty, it is exactly what we mean. Our mystery bounties will mirror the prize pool payouts.
You know what was important, too, when you described that is one of your players suggested it. So
absolutely.
Look at that. She listens to the players, everyone. So I got to ask you about the King of Poker Progressive Bounty Shootout. Is there a crown involved, or is there some kind of
There is, absolutely.
Is there really? Okay.
There is. And in fact, if you go back on poker.org's, video gallery of all of the shots, you can see our champion from the King of Poker in Winter Poker Open, Corbin. He absolutely has that crown.
Nice.
King of Poker is our BetMGM Partners brand, right? They own that. They are the King of Poker. And we have an event that we run occasionally, usually for charity. It's called King of the Stacks. And so they have kind of adopted this event themselves, and they host and offer it. It is single table shootouts in round one that you start with a $20 bounty as part of your buy-in. And you survive to top two, and you make it to round two, and we give you a $100 bounty included in your $200 buy-in. Now you survive to top three there, and you make it to round three with a $500 bounty. Everyone's in the money, and every single round, every shootout table, BetMGM is there. They're splashing the pot on every table with prizes and vouchers for online tournaments and cool swag items. And they just do a really, really great job. I think we had over 600 players in this event for Winter Poker Open. It was amazing and just super fun, something super different. And the progressive bounties sure don't hurt, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And let me ask you about, I think would probably be your most popular event is the Borgata Spring Poker Open Championship event. Popular because it has a $2 million guaranteed prize pool. Can you tell us about that, when it's being held, and how people get involved with that?
Yeah. So we have a $2,700 buy-in on the championship for Spring Poker Open, and I think that's a great number there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have moved it up in case anyone didn't see the update. It's going to start on Thursday, May 9th. That's going to have day 1A. Friday will be day 1B. Saturday will be day 2. Now, we will have 10 levels of open registration. That does mean that players have the opportunity to pop into that event on Saturday morning in both level 9 or level 10. And with a 40K starting stack, you still have plenty of play in those early levels. We're doing 60s and 90s, of course, and we're going to live stream our final table with it ending on Monday, May 13th. You could also win your seat into this event by taking first or second place in our 100 Days of Summer leaderboard, which we could talk about later if you wanted to, or we could do another interview later. Totally up to you.
I can talk to you all the time. It's fun.
Oh, you're so sweet. But just really good, long 4-day event, lots of good championship poker that our players are used to. And I just think it's going to be a really great event. It's at a good price point that enough recreational players are going to want to hop in. And we know that our pros will travel down to Borgata.
Those are only some of the tournaments you're having from April 29th to May 14th for the Borgata Spring Poker Open. What are some of the other things that players can expect when they play in the Spring Poker Open?
Yeah, we all of our opens always present Saturday series, of course. We also do a seniors championship. We have a ladies championship. Those are some regular items. Charity series of poker will be back with us on Thursday, May 9th. This time they're raising funds to fight hunger for the Community Food Bank here in South Jersey. Okay. We also love our Six Max. That's a deep stack. And the cool thing about the Six Max this time around is that it is a pure weekend event, meaning day 1 on Saturday, day 2 on Sunday. So lots of recs can hop into that. We, of course, love our bounty events. So we have a $1,000 knockout bounty. We have a purple chip bounty. We have some double black chip bounties. We've also thrown our mixed events in there, including Omaha High-Low, Hose, Pot Limit Omaha Championship. So I think there's a little bit of something for everybody's schedule. We have lots of qualifiers on the back end as well. And then don't forget about our live stream events that you can win your seat, win your opportunity to purchase a seat by playing here at Borgata in the days leading up to those live stream events.
I'm glad you mentioned about the qualifiers. Talk a little bit about that. Will there be live qualifiers, online qualifiers? How can players get a seat at the Spring Open? And what should players know about registering for the Spring Open?
Sure. So obviously we've partnered again with our BetMGM poker partners. So absolutely download that app if you haven't already, especially if you are here in the state of New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Qualifiers and registration opened April 1st. So we are already in process. Okay. You can go online and register for multiple events on BetMGM Poker. You can also qualify right now for as little as $2 for the championship event.
That's great.
On site, will start the first day, Monday, of Spring Poker Open is all about qualifiers. We actually have a 10 a.m., a 12 p.m., a 2 p.m., a 4 p.m., all in the same day, where you can get either your kickoff and your championship, your Mirror Mystery Bounty and your championship, your kickoff and your Mirror Mystery Bounty. You can get all three. And so, we really give players that opportunity to get here on that Monday and register for these qualifiers and get into them through a qualifying status. Throughout the event as well, we'll also run additional qualifiers to our anchor event. We have a couple for the Mirror Mystery Bounty. We also have an additional 3 qualifiers at the end of the Spring Poker Open for the Spring Poker Open Championship. And then the night before day 2 begins, we have our absolute last shot. It's a super turbo that players can pop into just to see if they can win their buy-ins. On top of adding a $5,000 survivor and a $2,500 survivor into the mix so that players kind of have an opportunity to decide when they get that $2,500 in cash, do I want to buy into the championship or do I want to put it in my pocket?
Now, one of the big stories that came out of the Borgata Winter Poker Open is that you streamed some of the events and some of the tables, and you said you're doing that again for the Borgata Spring Poker Open. I'm curious, how do you choose people who are sitting at the table playing the stream event? Are they winners from other tournaments, or how did they get a seat at the streamed events?
Yeah. So we're doing a 2-5 this time around, a pot limit, Omaha. We're doing the high roller. And then, of course, we're partnering with BetMGM again to offer their online hybrid championship live stream. So I'll start there. They have a $150,000 championship event that they're running concurrently with our Spring Poker Open. That's going to start online. And then once you make it down to final table, they send you here to Borgata. They ship you in a little box. They take care of your hotel room, and then you get to play that final table via a live stream right here with us. Now, the 2-5 no limit, you can win your opportunity to purchase your seat by playing 2-5 no limit hold'em right here at Borgata with us on Wednesday night or Thursday night. That's May 1st or May 2nd from 5 to 11 p.m. And we draw lucky seats from our 2-5 no limit players. We approach you at the table. Are you interested in playing in the live stream? If you say yes, you head to the cage, you lock up your seat, you are in.
Wow.
For the Pot Limit Omaha live stream, we give participants the opportunity to win their chance at that live stream event by playing in the PLO Championship. So when you play in the PLO Championship, you drop your white registration ticket into a drum, and then we pull your lucky seat in that manner and get you into the Pot Limit Omaha live stream. Now, the High Roller Big Buy-In event, that's different. Okay. That's invitation only. And since Darren Elias is our BetMGM Poker ambassador, we've allowed him to kind of stand up that game, so to speak. Okay. But he's always interested in having Borgata regulars and our PA regulars participate in that game. We don't just want it to be the regular things that, the same people we see on the Vegas live streams all the time. We want Borgata players represented. We want East Coast players represented. And so anyone can reach out to me or speak to one of my shift managers here if they're interested in playing in the big game, and we'll do everything we can to try to get those players onto that live stream.
I think what impressed me most about the Borgata Winter Poker Open when I went there in January is the incredible job that you and your staff did in organizing the event and making sure all the players are in the right places and the right tables and gave them as much help as possible. And everyone did a great job. My one question for you for the Spring Poker Open is, will Rocco still be available to take all our pictures when we're at the casino? Because he did a really great job last time. So
he really did.
He did.
We're definitely going to have poker.org here again. They are definitely our official partner in reporting. I think that they did a wonderful job and brought a really unique viewpoint to the game and to our opens, and we're incredibly excited to have them back. They took some really beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
And obviously our live streaming partner, Guerrilla Gaming. We love Glenn and the East Coast Poker Tour. They do a great job as well. So they'll both be back. Both of those organizations will be back in support. And my team also will be here in full force. And thankfully, I'm not a slave driver this time. I'm not forcing them to work 24 days straight, just 16. But they are really good sports about it, and they really do a fantastic job. And we've taken some feedback from our players and some really great suggestions, like when we have an event running in both the poker room and the Central Conference Center space concurrently, and we're trying to consolidate into that space. We're going to have those clocks in the poker room 5 minutes behind. That was another great suggestion by our players, just so players don't miss any time. And so we're always up for the feedback, and we're always looking to improve, because no matter how great things are, we just know that they can get better.
For anyone who's asking out there, Rocco took our picture there, and he's one of the great security personnel at Borgata. So hopefully we'll see Rocco. Yeah, Rocco. Remember, he took our picture. Well, okay, he took a great picture once he got in the same zip code as us. And so
that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great, no, Rocco.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll take our picture again. So he better.
I'm sure he'd love to.
I just mentioned him on national radio, so he owes me now. So, but what are the dates for the Borgata Spring Poker Open, and when can people start signing up to play in the tournament?
Yeah, so again, they can sign up on BetMGM online right now if they wanted to. Here in person, we're going to open up registration for all main events on Monday, April 29th. And then, of course, they'll be able to register for each of those events any day that they would like. We do the online check-in up at the Central Conference Reg Desk, so don't forget that is VIP. Don't get in line. Don't get at the cage. So the dates for the Spring Poker Open, April 29th through May 14th. Incredibly excited to see everyone out at Borgata again. Can't wait to welcome you back. Can't wait to see who takes down these monster prize pools. And really get a good opportunity to watch players battle it out on all of these live streams.
So what can poker players look forward to at the Borgata in the coming months? We're getting toward nice weather at the Jersey Shore. What is Borgata offering for its poker players?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
There you go. Look at that.
So we've been working really hard because, there's always this conundrum here in Atlantic City for the poker world. That conundrum is, my God, the weather is beautiful, and look at all of these millions of people that come down to the shore.
Sure.
But at the same time, of course, we have WSOP and our sister properties out in Vegas, like Aria and Bellagio and MGM Grand, running amazing events. So a lot of our poker field heads out there. So running a massive series during the summer, just not something I'm interested in doing. But running something for our daily grinder, are the players who are here for vacations for the summer and enjoying themselves, is something that we really wanted to do. And so we put our heads together here, and Borgata presents this summer. We're calling it 100 Days of Summer. We're taking $100,000, not out of the prize pool, not out of the players' buy-in, but strictly off of the top from us for a leaderboard challenge. And so we're going to offer 100 straight days of tournaments over 100 days of summer, May 26th to September 2nd. There's a whole mix of things in there. We're going to run a May Monster Stack series. We'll have Survivor weeks that culminate in a 5K Survivor on Saturday. We'll have multiple mini summer series that'll be 1 week long. We'll have Beat the Heat bounty weeks that every Saturday we'll have a mirror mystery bounty. We're introducing this really new cool tournament idea. It's called the Borgata Super Bonus Stack Series, where every time you register for an event in the designated series over the week, it qualifies you for an additional 5K bonus for the next event that you register for. Nice. And you get up to 4 bonuses there. Of course, we're going to run a 555 in July. That's our $500 buy-in, 5 flights, 500K guarantee, which was incredibly successful in February. We'll also run an August Almighty. That's going to be July 28th all the way through August 3rd. And we're going to finish that leaderboard event with something I'm calling the Short and Sweet Series. It's an opportunity for players to really bang out leaderboard points if they're struggling to get into that top 20. By the way, first place there is going to pay $25,000. In addition to that, we're going to give away 2 Borgata Poker Open championship seats for the Borgata Poker Open that will be announced for September. And it's unlimited additional places could be paid, meaning once we hit 10,000 players, we've covered our $100,000 leaderboard as far as we're concerned. Okay. For every 50 additional entries that we get over the 100 days, we're going to add another leaderboard spot. Wow. So we could end up with 100, 150 leaderboard spots paid out this summer. And we're just really incredibly excited to offer this to our players and really give them a reason that if they're going to play a daily tournament anywhere, that they should come and play it at Borgata.
Kellie, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website so people can find out about the Borgata and the incredible tournaments you just talked about, and especially the Borgata Spring Poker Open and how to register for that tournament?
Absolutely. You can check us out at theborgata.com always. All of the structures, all of the schedule is up and running on that web for Borgata Spring Poker Open. 100 Days of Summer should be dropping this week or next week, so definitely check out that full calendar of events and all of the rules to qualify and how our leaderboard points will be accumulated. And we can't wait to see you this summer.
Kellie DeCelis, Borgata's Director of Poker Operations, thanks so much for coming on and telling us about the Borgata Spring Poker Open being held from April 29th through May 14th. Borgata is an amazing poker room at an incredible casino, and it's always a great time being on the property. Please come back on and keep us updated about what's happening at Borgata. Thanks so much for coming on.
As always, thank you so much for having me.
That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.